Coming up on this week's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update, as a crop of seniors graduate, high school students are looking for their college fit. We're detailing the beginning and end of life as a Red Raider.
Also, the sign says 65, but is that really the speed limit? We have what you need to know.
From the College of Mass Communications on the campus of Texas Tech University, this is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of your MCTV Weekday Update. I'm April Cunningham.
And I'm John Wasiuta. Most students graduate in May, but a lot of your classmates are finishing their tech careers in about a month. Haley Johnson introduces you to an early grad.
Texas Tech University stirs up excitement with graduation right around the corner. Yearbook photos took place in the basement of the media building. Students piled in and tried on caps and gowns for the first time while posing for the photos. Senior art major Carrie Skinner graduates in May and shares her excitement.
It was really surreal putting the gown on. It was like a magic gown.
She then signs up to order the yearbook. The assistant advisor for mass communication explains the bonuses of graduating in December.
I would think that graduating in December is probably a little bit better for those guys. Number one, there's not so many people on the market at that particular point in time. I have less graduates anyway. In May, everybody and their dog is basically graduating.
Stone shows the number of students he assists graduating in May and December.
We got the two piles there. The right-hand pile is May and the left-hand pile is December.
Barnes & Noble in the Student Union building sells caps and gowns for our soon-to-be graduates. This is Haley Johnson reporting with MCTV.
John, do you remember your first time on the tech campus?
I do. I remember being vaguely terrified and lost, but it wasn't all bad.
I think I felt the same way too.
For high school seniors, the thought of going to college can be a scary idea.
But after a visit to Tech's University Day, not so much. Today, nearly 100 departments and organizations are on hand to welcome prospective students to Texas Tech here at the United Spirit Arena. Tech put on its annual University Day, which is designed to showcase the university to students looking for a place to call home. The day kicked off with a spirit rally, which featured the Goin' Band and the Saddle Tramps, and from there went into an event in which the entire campus became involved. Chancellor Kent Hance spoke to a crowd of students and families about what to expect from Tech and how successful the university's graduates go on to be. After the speech, students like Ashlyn Stewart had the opportunity to walk around the United Spirit Arena and talk to the various organizations. Stewart, a senior at Coronado High School in Lubbock, says she's always been interested in Tech because all of her family went to school here.
I'm still looking, but since I'm from here and always been here, it's definitely a huge possibility.
With an RSVP count of close to 1,000 students, Joanne Mitchell, a unit manager with the university's admissions department, says Tech expected to see students from all over the country, including states like California and Nebraska.
Well, so far everything's been great. We've got a lot of great feedback as far as people getting the information that they need in order to make their decision as far as the university that they choose and their particular department or college that they choose to go into. We've actually had an entire weekend of red and black activities.
Tech's University Day concluded a weekend of prospective student-aimed activities. With 32,000 students already enrolled at Tech, the university has a goal to reach 40,000 students by year 2020. For MCTV, I'm April Cunningham.
Texas drivers are putting the pedal to the metal. Our Brittany Escobar talks with TxDOT about recent changes on the road.
For decades, the speed limit has been 65 at night, but not anymore. It's not a lot, but since September 1st, you can drive 5 miles an hour faster at night. It's been a month and a half since the new speed limits took effect. One police officer we talked to said your best bet might be to stick with the posted signs. It might take a while to get them all changed. The reason? Because we're talking about 50,000 miles of roadway with 1,900 signs just here in Lubbock. Diana Asensio from the Texas Department of Transportation tells us why.
We have not actually begun the process to remove the nighttime and the truck speed signs. We are working with a contractor to come up with a schedule.
Although this sign indicates that you have to drive 65 miles per hour at night, the new law that became effective September 1st says you can drive a little bit faster.
As long as, the truck drivers are cautious, and watch out, I think, yeah, it's a good idea.
Joel Munoz, a driver for Pepsi, says it takes him forever to get anywhere in his truck.
To be able to drive a little faster will help out tremendously.
Along with photojournalist Sophia Hallbrook, I'm Brittany Escobar, MCTV News.
Your neighbor's trash could become your problem. As Ray Patterson shows us, someone else's garbage could have you throwing money away.
A dumpster directly behind your house is not always a plus for renters and homeowners. The downside to having that personal dumpster is having everyone else's trash with it.
Anyone is allowed to use that trash can. There's no videos monitoring that area, and you don't even know if it's their trash or not.
Most of the dumpsters are located behind every other house.
Just because it may not be your trash that's on there, you still get charged with it. And I think it's a problem that the owner of that property does not have to deal with.
And that goes for your front yard as well.
So you could be the cleanest neighbor on the block. But if your dumpster is surrounded by other people's trash, you'll be the one to pay for it.
You are responsible for anything that's on your property. What ends up happening is it ends up piling up, and then the city of Lubbock sends you a lovely letter saying that you will be fined if you don't clean it up.
An inspector will leave a cream-colored violation stub on your front door, stating you have 7 days after the date of inspection to clean up. City Inspector Haney said, "There's really nothing you can do about it. It's the law." So whether the trash belongs to you or not, does not matter. It's your yard, your dumpster, your trash.
So I just think, all in all, it's a kind of a lose-lose situation for the person that lives on that property.
You can log on to ci.lubbock.texas.us for more information on the rules and guidelines for city littering. Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Ray Patterson.
Lubbock's homeless still have a place to stay thanks to a unanimous vote by city commissioners. Tent City has been located at 13th Street and Avenue A since March. The vote lets Tent City be rezoned as a shelter, something a local group, Link Ministries, fought hard for. District 3 Councilman Todd Klein lobbied hard for the change.
I think the onus for the City Council is to step out of the way, be supportive, and not an impediment.
People opposed to Tent City say it's lowering property values and increasing crime in the area.
Nearly 250,000 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year, and 39,000 will die from it. As Lisa Breskis found out, for some West Texas women, this disease has left an indelible impression.
Tattoo guns filled with not black but pink ink buzzed throughout Big Buddha's tattoo shop this past Sunday. People packed the shop waiting to get inked with pink for breast cancer awareness. Big Buddha tattoo shop owner Mike Peluso talked about how special the event was to him and his artists.
I would say just about everybody is going to be affected by breast cancer. My case, my wife lost her mother. So when we were asked to be a part of this, I was more than happy to. When I brought it to the shop, everybody was excited. Everybody in the shop wanted to be a part of this.
Peluso said they were more than happy to help high schooler Maddie Garcia make her dream a reality.
In our case, we just supported her. We gave her a place that she could branch out and put this out there in front of the world.
Garcia talked about the deeper reason behind getting inked.
You're dedicating it to someone you either lost or who's battling this, and I think that's the bigger picture, and it shows how much you love and care about them and how people really do want to fight if you're getting that permanently on your skin.
Garcia said she was optimistic about the goals for today.
At least 25 people come in, which I think we've already maybe reached 15. And then maybe if this hits off, we can start planning for next year and it can be even bigger and have more plans and events.
Antonia Torres expressed how special her tattoo was to her and the memory of her grandmother.
The greatest thing. And then she got sick and I just saw her go through chemotherapy and all that, and they had to remove one of her breasts, and it was hard on all of us, but especially on her because she was my best friend.
Torres explained how her experience has affected her and how today's event gives her hope.
Help out foundations like these. I want there to be a cure for not just breast cancer, but every single kind of cancer.
During the Express the Pink event, the $20 of the $30 customers pay for the pink ribbon tattoos will be donated.
The proceeds from today's event will be sent to the Keep a Breast Foundation. If today's event was a big hit, this could be a regular thing in the Hub City. For MCTV, I'm Lisa Breskis.
Tails were wagging at Higginbotham Park late October when 100 volunteers and their canine companions participated in the 7th annual Strut for Mutts. The Haven Animal Shelter fundraiser was held to raise money for the 120 cats and dogs who live at the Haven. 25 furry Haven residents were up for adoption at the charity event.
I really liked it. I think it's a really good event. It's a great way to get out with your dog and get him socialized while still benefiting a good cause.
Every dog that joined in got to sport a colorful bandana. By the end of a 1.5-mile walk, the pooches and owners were tuckered out, but smiles revealed the event had been a howling success. Woof.
Elm Street is not the only place you can see Freddy Krueger this Halloween. You also might see the famous villain in Lubbock. Nightmare on 19th Street started 5 years ago by Wes Nessman and his partner. Both creators decide on the theme each year. On top of Dr. Nexon Sanitarium and Blood New Manor, which already exist, new this year, City of the Lost, with inspirations from the Mayan Egyptians and other ancient civilizations. The Nightmare on 19th Street only improves its original creativity.
It's all got to do with your frame of reference. Some people see a clown and they're out. They're just done. Some people hear a chainsaw, they're done. Or some people see a needle and they're done.
Nessman says participants love it because it's a creative community and an expensive hobby. And that's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching our MCTV Weekday Update. I'm April Cunningham.
And I'm John Wasiuta. We hope you have a great week.